Alrighty, guys. So, again, what a tremendous night. And, tonight was December 18th. Dante Moore commits to the Oregon Ducks. Amazing job by Dan Lanning. Dan Lanning, the Danimal. Dan Lanning, Oregon Ducks. This is a move that squarely sets you up for the possibility of winning a national championship. You have Bo Nix, who was your quarterback, who was a brilliant stroke of genius by Dan Lanning to acquire Bo Nix and Kenny Dillingham. And these 2 years have been an absolute joy to watch with Bo Nix. I mean, we can remember the times, the game against UCLA, like that amazing offensive output. The game against Utah when Bo Nix was injured. Bo Nix and the team going to Arizona and winning. I mean, all these games have been such a tremendous blowouts and unbelievable football that you could take it for granted. That even though Oregon was supposed to win all of these games, they've been great. And other than a game in which they had a lead at Washington late, and they played even better against Washington during the season, ironically, in Seattle than they did in Vegas at a neutral site. All right, Oregon, I think, was tight in that game against Washington. They were nervous. I think Dan tuned them up too much. I think that might be, kind of maybe Dan not being perfect at this age. But Dan Lanning, out of any coach in America, is somebody that, I respect the most. And I don't know how it'll age, but Dan Lanning these past 2 years, I can certainly say, has done an incredible job for the University of Oregon. And he set them up for incredible successes, and knock on wood for his good health and for him to run a clean program and off the field for it to be as spotless and as great of a program as it has been, because everything's been done in a first-class manner off of the field and then on the field in terms of how Dan treats these players, in terms of their preparation. And I cannot be more impressed by this staff and this team. I mean, all year long, they battled, and they were a great team. And they went to Utah, at Utah, and won 36-6. And it was one of the great games in Oregon history. The game-winning throw by Bo Nix against Texas Tech. Like, even though some people will just get wrapped in the Washington losses or that they didn't win a national championship, the fact that they won 11-1, like, that does not happen to almost any program. You have to respect that. You have to. It's hard to go 11-1, and the one game you lose is by 3 points, and you're winning that game. And you're playing in one of the best Pac-12s ever. And Oregon had to play against Shedeur Sanders. Oregon had to play against DJ Uiagalelei. Oregon had to play against Caleb Williams, who's a Heisman Trophy winner, and Lincoln Riley and Jonathan Smith, and these amazing coaches. They had to go to Lubbock, Texas. You had to go to play Kyle Whittingham's team. And you went 11-1 in a tremendous Pac-12. And we're maybe a couple of plays away from maybe winning that title or beating Washington. And Washington was the thorn in your side, but Washington also has a legendary team. And credit to Washington. All right? Oregon was in an elite place. And now the Oregon Ducks now have secured Dante Moore. They continue to roll. And Dante Moore, it shows you again the recruiting of Dan Lanning. Like, what happened with Jordan Burch? Jordan Burch commits to his hometown of Columbia, South Carolina. He commits to the South Carolina Gamecocks. What ends up happening with Dan Lanning? He's second in that recruiting battle with Jordan Burch. Second. A year after Jordan Burch is playing there, Jordan Burch decides, I think as a sophomore, I'm going to transfer. And I'm going to Oregon because I believe in Dan Lanning, and this relationship is a genuine relationship. What happened with Dante Moore? Another five-star player like Jordan Burch. Oregon, he was committed to Oregon, and then he had a change of heart. He wanted to maybe see the field. LA is a very tempting, great place. Okay, and Dan Lanning could have said, you know what, Dante, man, that's ridiculous. You strung us along, you committed to us, and now you're committing to UCLA. Instead, Dan Lanning cared about the life of Dante Moore, cared about the person, cared about his journey. And you know what happened? Dante Moore's like, after 1 year, you know what? I want to be an Oregon Duck. And guess what? Not only do I want to be an Oregon Duck, I'm going to sacrifice probably this year, and I'm going to learn behind Dillon Gabriel. That's a decision and maturity beyond his years. And I've never met Dante Moore, but every interview and everything that you see and read and hear about Dante Moore, he is a special, special person, a special leader, special person in terms of intangibles, not only the tangibles, him being a 5-star quarterback. And the fact that now Dante Moore, as a 5-star quarterback in this, and people have coined this phrase, microwave society of now. I want to play now. I want to go somewhere, and I want it all to be about me, and I want to be the guy. And trust me, these quarterbacks and players that are all-star players like Dante Moore that have been the best of the best, they do have that confidence and belief in themselves. But for Dante Moore, he could have went somewhere, taken a bag, and played, and had it be his show. And it's mine. You realize how rare it is for a 5-star quarterback to willingly sit a year and transfer a year. Like Arch Manning's at Texas already. Dante Moore transferred to a spot where he's not going to sit a year because he sees the bigger picture. He sees development. He sees that Will Stein could develop quarterback. He sees that that Kenny Dillingham was great, but with Will Stein has tricks of his own too, and that they can both be elite offensive coordinators in different ways. He sees the facilities. He sees where this thing is going. He sees a top 7 recruiting class. He sees that Dan Lanning is not only preparing him for the NFL, but giving him the best possible college experience. Is Dante Moore going to be that guy? Is he going to be a part of the one team? Bo Nix, Marcus Mariota, Joey Harrington. There's been a lot of great quarterbacks and players. LaMichael James, Blunt, the running back from New England, LeGarrette Blunt. There's been legendary Oregon players, Keely Smith. There's been legends that have played at Oregon, Kellen Clemens, that have played quarterback, that have played receiver, that have done it all, Oregon Ducks. Is Dante Moore going to be is he going to be the people that is going to take this foundation that was built by all these great players and coaches, and is he going to be the one that can actually win a national title? And with Jerrion Dickey as a wide receiver that I think could be the next A.J. Brown and the best receiver in the game, possibly. Again, he was rated in 96. With Dylan Gresham, one of the fastest receivers at Oregon, Kyler Casper, and all of these players, I think that also now, with the guys that they're trying to recruit, you learn under Dillon Gabriel, not only can Dante Moore be an NFL quarterback, be taken early and live out his NFL dream, but he can also sit for a year, develop, and win a national championship at a really special place and be the one to do it. So Dante Moore, incredible recruitment for Oregon. It shows you about Dan Lanning, shows you about the relationships, but also what they're building. And now at the most important position in all of sports, they are set. Not only do they have Dillon Gabriel, a proven commodity, who's a star quarterback in his own right out of Oklahoma, but now waiting in the wings is a 5-star quarterback with playing experience at UCLA, quarterback with all the upside and the skill and the talent, all the leadership qualities, man. It's a great time to be an Oregon Duck fan. It is a great, great time to be an Oregon Duck fan. What an incredible day. Incredible that they pulled off not only did they pull off Dillon Gabriel, but they also got Dante Moore, and Dante Moore is going to get players to play with him. This is going to send shockwaves through the world, through the sport. Why would Dante Moore go to Oregon when they already have Dillon Gabriel as the common theme? But you're not factoring in development. You're not factoring in the Danimal, Phil Knight. You're not factoring in Drew Maringer, Coach Locke, Coach Meatball. Coach Martin on defense, Junior Adams, Marshall Malkow, and all the individuals out there at Oregon, man. It's been fun. Since Dan Lanning got hired there, I've been a fan of the hire. His story's incredible. Had to drive through the night just to get a coaching job. Wasn't at all grandfathered into this coaching profession at all. Played D3 linebacker, knew about nobody. Was a PE teacher, and then was a special teams coach at a high school. That's the extent of Dan Lanning, and now he's trying to do something in the sport of college football that's rarely ever been done, and he's kind of on his way. And he's got Tosh LaPoy, and he's doing it with special individuals, and he would tell you that too. So it's fun. Ever since Oregon hired Dan Lanning, man, I mean, Dan Lanning special, and you follow and chronicle the career, and right now it's been an incredible, incredible ride these last couple of years, man. I mean, since getting blown out at Georgia, since losing to Washington, since that terrible blown lead in the Civil War at Oregon State, to now beating Oregon State. All right, to going out there and beating all of your competition, to the legendary game against Colorado, and all of these fantastic memories that all of the kids on campus could see. All righty, guys, and now Dante Moore, Oregon Ducks quarterback. That is what we are talking about. Relationships, it prevailed in the end. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what y'all think about the commitment of Dante Moore to the Oregon Ducks.